tell me that you love me again. You don't know what those words do to me. They slip under my ribs like a midnight draught and remind me that even kings crave what they can't command. You think I stand tall because the world bows, but the truth is far less majestic. I bend only to you, and right now, your silence feels like a locked door I keep knocking on with bruised knuckles. I'm talking to the darkness where your shadow used to rest, hoping you'll answer, even if it's just a whisper dragged across the cold. You think distance makes me weaker, but it carves me into something sharper. Every breath without you is a blade reshaping the man I thought I was. You taught me what it feels like to want something not for power, not for pride, but for peace. And now that peace is gone, replaced with your absence echoing everywhere in my chest. I keep telling myself I'm fine, but the truth is I'm unraveling, thread by thread, calling your name in my mind like it's the only map I have left. You don't even know the kind of storm you left behind. I walk through my own thoughts like a throne room turned graveyard. Everything still looks royal, but nothing feels alive. I talk to you even when you can't hear me, because it's the only way I remember how to breathe. I don't want the kingdom, the crown, the bloodline. I want the warmth of your voice telling me I haven't lost you completely. I want that one fragile sentence that holds my entire world together. You ruined me beautifully. I don't even hide it anymore. You turn my heart into something reckless, something hungry, something that only calms when it imagines your hands tracing the edges of my existence. And yet here I am, speaking into the emptiness, trying to reach whatever part of you is still tangled with mine. You don't have to return to me like before. You just have to remind me that I'm not alone in this madness you created. You know what hurts the most? The way you left your scent on my memories. I close my eyes and it feels like you're still standing somewhere behind me, almost touching me, almost choosing me, almost saying the words I crave. But almost is a cruel kingdom, and I'm trapped inside it without you to lead me out. I keep waiting for a sign, a breath, a tremble, anything from you. Anything that tells me I wasn't dreaming when you held my heart like it was something worth saving. You can pretend you're done with me, but the truth is I still feel you in every silent hour. I still hear the way your heartbeat used to challenge mine, daring me to love you harder. You were never a soft thing. You were fire dressed as tenderness, and I took every burn willingly. Even now, with the ashes of us scattered across my chest, I choose the flames again. I choose you again. All you have to do is tell me that you love me again. And maybe then, just maybe, I'll stop fighting ghosts and start breathing like a man who has something left to live for. You think I don't feel the distance, but it coils around my throat every time I say your name in my head. I speak to you like you're still here, like you're leaning against the edge of my shadow, listening with that quiet fire you always carried. And in this silence, I'm forced to admit something I never told you. Losing you didn't break me, it unmade me. It took my edges, my control, my certainty, and scattered them like dust across the floor. Now I stand in the ruins of myself, calling out to you, because it's the only thing that reminds me I was once alive. You don't understand the way your absence rewired me. I don't crave touch, I don't crave loyalty, I don't crave devotion. I crave you. The way you existed in your own storm, the way your heartbeat always felt like an answer to something I didn't know how to ask. When I'm speaking into this empty space, I'm not trying to reach the world. I'm trying to reach the part of you that still lingers inside me like an unfinished sentence, refusing to fade. Every breath I take feels borrowed from the version of me that existed when you were still mine. You left shadows in all the places your light used to rest. I walk through them like a man searching for a reflection that won't look back at him anymore. The throne feels colder, The nights feel longer, and every morning arrives like a punishment instead of a blessing. I try to hold myself together with duty, with power, with the weight of the crown, but none of it matches the weight of your voice when it used to settle against my skin. You made me believe in something softer, something deeper, something terrifyingly close to surrender, and now I'm left fighting emptiness with nothing but memories. You think I'm strong because I stand tall, but what you don't see is how I collapse inside myself every time I realize you're not coming back. Not yet, not now, not in all the ways I crave. I've been trying to outrun the truth, but it catches me every night. I am still tied to you, not by choice, not by weakness, but by a thread woven through the deepest part of my being. A thread you stitch there with every look, every breath, every unspoken promise I pretended not to hear but always felt. You invaded me in ways I never anticipated. I thought I knew the limits of longing, but you pushed them further, stretched them until they cracked, and left me trying to hold them together with hope that keeps slipping through my fingers. You taught me what it feels like to want someone not because I can have them, but because I can't imagine the world without them. And that truth tears at me every time I speak into this silence, praying that somehow my words will find you. You don't know how many times I've reached for the ghost of you, how many nights I've closed my eyes and felt you leaning into my thoughts like you always did, challenging me, softening me, undoing me. I try to forget, but forgetting you is like trying to unhearse the sound of my own heartbeat. Impossible, unnatural, wrong. So I keep talking to you, not because I expect an answer, but because the sound of your name keeps the dark from swallowing me whole. You left, but you never left me. You carved yourself into my pulse, into the way I breathe, into the way I ache. And every word I speak into the quiet is a confession you might never hear, that I am still yours in all the ways that matter, in all the ways that destroy me, in all the ways that no crown or kingdom could ever fix. And even now, even in this hollow night, I'm still reaching for the part of you that refuses to let me go. You left silence where your breath used to live, and I've been trying to survive inside that emptiness like a man wandering a palace with all its doors locked from the inside. I speak to you because the quiet is unbearable. It claws at my ribs. It drags its teeth across my thoughts. It forces me to face the truth I keep trying to outrun. I'm still anchored to you. Every part of me still turns toward where you should be, like instinct, like gravity, like a command etched into bone. And nothing in this world has the power to erase that. You think distance frees me, but it chains me tighter. I wake in the hours where even the moon refuses to look at me, and you're the first thing that stirs in my mind. Your voice still lives in the corridors of my memory, brushing against me like a forbidden touch. I can't forget. I'm not talking to you because I'm weak, but because I can't exist without the echo of you folding itself into my breath. You've become the pulse beneath everything, quiet, relentless, impossible to silence. You changed me without trying. You carved patience into a man who never waited. You carved hunger into someone who never needed, and you carved desire into a heart that once beat only for legacy. Now every heartbeat feels like a question. Where are you? Why are you gone? Why do I still feel you so violently? I stand here speaking into the emptiness because every word I release feels like a rope thrown into the dark, hoping it finds its way around your soul. You don't even know the war I'm fighting, not with the world, not with kingdoms, but with myself. I tell myself to forget you, but forgetting you feels like betraying the part of me that learned how to be human in your presence. You taught me quiet truths, dangerous ones, that closeness can be stronger than power, that vulnerability doesn't always weaken, that a single person can undo an entire empire built inside the chest. And now that empire is collapsing without you to hold even one wall in place. You were never gentle with my heart, and I never wanted you to be. You were sharp and warm and impossible, the kind of beauty that doesn't soften, it consumes. And I let myself be consumed. I let myself drown in the version of me that came alive when you looked at me. Now I stand alone, still burning from the memory of your touch, talking to the air like some cursed monarch begging the night to return what it stole from him. You haunt everything. My hands feel empty, without your voice resting against them. My nights stretch into something cavernous without the thought of you wandering through them. Even the air feels different, colder, quieter, wrong, like the world is holding its breath, waiting for you to return to the space you abandoned inside me. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not asking for promises. I'm asking for the smallest truth, that you still feel me somewhere inside your heart's hidden rooms. And until you say it, until your voice cuts through this void, I'll keep speaking into the darkness the way a man grips a blade he knows will cut him, not because he's unafraid of the pain, but because it's the only thing that proves he's still alive. You still linger in the air around me, even when you're nowhere near. I talk to you like you're a shadow leaning against the wall, listening the way only you knew how. Quiet, piercing, impossible to escape. Every word I release feels like it's drifting toward you, even if you never hear it. I don't understand how someone can leave and still stay, how your absence can feel heavier than your presence ever did. I keep trying to stand like a king, but inside, I'm just a man reaching for the echo of your heartbeat. You left a wound that doesn't bleed, but burns. It burns every time I remember the way you looked at me, the way you challenged me just by existing. I speak into the emptiness because silence without you isn't silence. It's punishment. It presses against my ribs. It drags across my pulse. It reminds me that losing you wasn't a moment. It was a slow unraveling, tearing of every thread that held my world together. And now I'm left trying to rebuild myself without the part that made me whole. You became the voice in my veins, the rhythm beneath my skin, the force that pulled me in directions I didn't understand, but always trusted. I don't want to escape you. I don't want to forget you. I want to feel you even in the places you swore you'd never return to. When I talk like this, raw, unfiltered, stripped of everything but truth, it's because there's no armor left between me and what you left behind. You took the armor with you. You took the calm. You took everything but the ache. You think I keep speaking because I expect you to answer, but I'm not asking for answers. I'm asking for connection, the invisible kind that stretches across distance and refuses to snap. I'm asking for the part of you that still hears me even when you don't want to. That part that knows the shape of my voice, the way the night knows the shape of the moon. You can pretend I'm just a memory, but memories don't talk back the way your silence does. They don't pulse. They don't sting. They don't breathe like this. You were the only person I ever allowed close enough to see me. Not the crown, not the name, not the legacy me. The flawed, burning, restless creature beneath all of it. And even now, when you're gone, that version of me keep reaching for you like instinct, like gravity, like something older than desire and deeper than fear. I don't know how to undo that. I don't know if I want to. I just know that every time your name stirs inside me, I feel like I'm being dragged back to the place where you first unraveled my certainty. You left, but you didn't take your impact with you. It's still carved into me, hidden in the spaces no one else can touch. I walk through my own thoughts like a haunted corridor, passing moments where your presence still flickers. A breath here, a glance there, a heartbeat caught between memory and longing. I'm not trying to rebuild my life without you. I'm trying to understand how to breathe when every breath tastes like the shadow of something I can't hold anymore. And so I keep talking, not to the world, not to myself, to the version of you that still grips the edges of my soul, to the part of you that refuses to let me forget, to the quiet where your name pulses like a truth I can't escape, and until the day your voice returns to claim what it left behind, I'll keep speaking into the darkness, holding on to the pieces of you that still live inside my chest.